Pork is one of the most widely consumed meats in the world, contributing over 35% to the world or global meat consumption. We have seen through statistics that over 90,000 pigs are slaughtered in Zimbabwe alone just to contribute yearly to the pork production and to contribute to the pork products that are being consumed by the market alone yearly. With this current demand that we have, the question is the demand being met by the current supply that we have in the market? With one sow being able to provide or to give up to 26 piglets or more within a year, and with one of those piglets being able to reach the market within 5 to 6 months of good sustainability and good rearing, this means pork production, or pig farming as we know it, is quite a sustainable or lucrative enterprise to get into. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode here on Agric Connect. My name is Annette Mtetwa, your host, and today we're going to be talking about pig production or pig farming as we know it. Nasi tiri pano pa Balivon farm, patichaudzwa nawo ye-pig farming. Tiri pano chichiti iyezve, pig farming pachayo yega iri kutipa up to 90,000 nguruve dziri kuslotwa dzichipinzwa pa market for ma products e-pork pachawo ega. So we go back to the question of supply and demand. Is our actual supply of pork products or of pork or pigs in the market actually meeting the demand that we have? Seeing over 90,000 pigs being slaughtered yearly just to meet the current demand that is on the market. Pig farming is not a simple enterprise to get into. This goes to the actual rearing of the pigs, the types of housing needed, the vet visits, and simple other aspects that go into rearing pigs and bringing them into the market at a proper value that will give you value back for your money. Seeing as it's not a simple enterprise to get into, today we're going to meet a farmer who is going to tell us more about how he has managed to make a success story out of pig farming. It's not a simple enterprise to get into, like we said, but he successfully managed to rear a number of pigs that he's bringing into the market at a good value, at a good size, and a good price. This enterprise, being a hard one to get into, is actually very profitable. With many farmers desiring to get into this enterprise, we see that we have knowledge that is meant to be dispersed. We have certain things that farmers do not know that can make this enterprise a successful one. Tine zvakawanda sevarimi zvatinoshuvira kuziva panyaya yekukurisa nguruve. Haisi enterprise ine vanhu vakawanda vari kuiita izvezvi nekuti ine zvakawanda zvainoda zvinoita kuti iyo ikwanise kubuditsa mari yakawanda sezvatinoziva ichiita muindustry yedu yefarming. Namhla silapha eBalivon farm, lapha esizahlangana lomlimi oselesikhathi ekhulisa ingulube. Uzasitshela yena ukuthi usebenzisa ukudla okunjani, usebenzisa yena imihlobo enjani eyengulube esimnike imali enengi lapha ku pig production. Njengokuba kwazi kwethu, isihlelo lesi esokukhulisa ingulube asichiphanga, sehlula abanengi, kodwa nangu umlimi osekwanisile oseyenelise yena ukukhulisa ingulube ezifake ku market enze ama products, ama pork products amanengi achiyeneyo ukuthi akwanise ukumnika imali yakhe, njengoba la uyabefake imali yakhe ku production le ukuthi imnike imali enengi. Sizahlangana laye ufama le usihlelo esilandelayo ukuthi asitshele yena ukuthi usekukwanise njani ukuba lathi sifunde njengabalimi ukuthi singakhulisa njani izifuyo lezi zisinike imali eyaneleyo ukusigcina lathi lezimuli zethu. Stay tuned for the next segment where we meet our farmer Daniel Rungani.
Annette.
Hi Daniel, how are you?
Yeah, thanks. How are you?
Good, thanks. How's the going today? We see you've got a lovely enterprise yenguruwe ya murikuita pano pa Balivon farm.
Yeah, to go push her.
They look very healthy, they look fit. The quality of the pigs looks very appetizing to the eye.
Thank you.
Mungatiudzawo kuti inini muri kuzvigonawo say, how are you doing your processes here at Balivon farm? But before we get into that, Daniel, how and what motivated you to get into pig farming, as hard as this enterprise is?
Okay. So initially I was doing broilers, but then the time 2019 to 2020, there was a challenge with my chicks. So that's when we started doing my pigs. So we got 5 pigs to start with. Of course, then got the same model. Other than buying chicks, we're just going to rear our own piglets. Then we fatten them, then sell. So that was how we started. Then we said, this thing can actually be a business. We can really stop doing broilers. Then we can just double down on piggery, because tanda good divide my efforts say no, let's just double down on pigs, because we actually see we can control everything ourselves, from the servicing to the weaning to the farrowing and everything. We have started doing it. So we just converted my structures on our farm.
So Daniel, knowing that and how you actually got into this enterprise, I think varimi kunze ukoko chakavakoshera kuziva breeds types breeds enguruve ariko kunze uko nekuziva kuti anonyatsokuita kuti vaite pig farming ichazovapinzawo mumarket ye pork meat supply. Which breeds are you using currently?
Here we started with large white. Then we started crossing the large white with Daland and Jurok. Because the other advisor when they meat quality better, when they bigger back, when it a shoulder the other one is long, a land race. So we just started mixing up the breeds. But initially the bow we had was large white. Then we got multiple females. Then what we do every Wednesday, we check from the porkers and from the winners. We just check the legs and my structure. Can this be a good parent? Can this be a good mother later on? A good mother. So we keep it, then we notch it to separate it. So that's how we started growing our sows.
That's interesting to know. I guess we do have quite a number of breeds on the market, but as we've heard farmers from Mr. Daniel, tinofana kuwana parent breeds edu from reputable suppliers. Moving on from that, Mr. Daniel, we just want to know, tirikuona kuti mune housing yaminayo panapa, an important aspect in pig farming, obviously. What type of housing would you encourage our farmers kuti imba dzavanova nguruve dzinofana unge dzakamira sei kuti nguruve
it should to be well ventilated and east to west ventricle. So those are the advice. But here we did what we could with what we had. We just converted the structures as Agribusiness. So we didn't put much input into the structures at Agribusiness.
So that being said, Daniel, I think we also have the aspect of good hygiene. Pigs also need vaccinations. There are vet programs that need to be followed. Imini muri kuzvigona sei zvekuona kuti utano wepari kugara nguruve dzenyu huri on point at all times, vaccinations ari well done on time? How are you doing your record keeping? Muri kuzvigona izvozvo zvehygiene, zvekumaintaina nekuona kuti diseases haana kuwanda, and our pigs are always healthy at all times?
Contrary to what people the most believe, that pigs are dirty. Pigs are really smart animals, but because of the keepers, as farmers, sometimes we relax. So what we need to do in the morning, first thing in the morning, after you check your heat and which sows need the boar, you need to get in and start cleaning the houses, the pens. Yeah. You clean them, then you add water, because if you just add feed, they need to get appetite. So around 10 minutes before you give feed, you give them water. Then they drink water, then you give them their feed. Then they relax. They are one of the animals that sleep the largest in the animal kingdom. Yeah. Then they sleep. No noise and everything. After around 12, if they are growers, if you're feeding ad lib, then you add, or you just add more feed. If they are boars and sows, the maintenance, just give them their maintenance. Then then there's a schedule you need to follow, like from 3 days after birth, you need to put your iron, because piglets, they are even the first day, but then we just try to put it on day 3. You need to give your piglets iron, because it's something that the mother doesn't have when it's breastfeeding. You need to get the iron, inject the iron so that you avoid anemia, because they die within days. In the second week they die. So you need to also clip the teeth of the piglets. Then that's the first process that we do. Then the mothers, we need to 2 weeks before they give birth, you need to give them the farrow vaccine. Then the boy has to be vaccinated in various procedures as well. Yeah, so that you have healthy animals and they also give birth easily, smoothly. Yes.
I would like to know, out of interest, I'm sure the farmers too, just how many piglets can you get from one sow?
For us to be safe, we should say 2, because the third birth next year, or is made earlier the year. Sakaten chiti nguru yako inofana at least budget kana 3 times. So tongo 3 to be safe. Then painenge chikuberekera ipapo, if it is safe is 12. Kana bore nyora makanso chance kana makata artificial insemination pakanya so itwa unyanzi chezo. The minimum you should get is 10, because those are two advice. Same farmers, those are things because for you to break even, kuti ukwanise kukava makosti amai nevana vayo vayazvara kusvika vatengeswa, ukakwanisa kutengesa 5 vana ndokuti ukwanise kuona kuti no pa5 ava takwanisa kukava feed cost yedu, mai mavaccines, majekiseni yapamwe dzimwe dzinogona kumboita week dzenchiboda ubayo some antibiotics. Saka zvese zvofanira kukava pa5 vavo. Sesusu tiri kuti ukanyatsosevhisa nguru yako zvakanaka ikakupa 10 unenge wakuziva kuti une 5 paprofit. So vamwe muno muZimbabwe record 36.
Saka pamapiglets apa pamambotaura process yekubvisa mazino iyo, mungaudzawo varimi vedu kuti zvinoitirwei process what exactly is behind the removal of those teeth? Zvinobetsera sei kumapiglets edu pakukura kwawo?
So when piglets are born, right, they have razor sharp teeth. They are razor sharp, and as soon as the first thing that you need to get your animals is colostrum. So that colostrum milk is the first milk that comes out of the mother. So you need that colostrum, but then the challenge now is because of those razor teeth, the mother, because it doesn't see, because we have to wait for 3 days for it to have sight. When we take it to the mother, it might bite those teeth. So if anything, they become pink and red, so they will harm the mother. So first, before they harm themselves, they first harm the mother, and the mother will have difficult nursing, because you can't be suckling somewhere where there's blood coming out. Yeah. So they will refuse to nurse their babies, the piglets, right? Then the second one is when they get a little older, maybe they don't bite the teeth, they start fighting themselves. So you need to, before they start biting each other, slice each other open, you then now need to treat the piglets and everything. So you also have to cut the tail as well, because pigs, they're funny animals. They're intelligent, but they're actually funny. So you have to notice what you have to remove obstacles for them to be naughty. Yeah, so you have to remove any possibility for them to get naughty. So
yeah. No, I think we have a better understanding of why that process is done now. Thank you very much, Daniel, for all those insights. I think I've got so many takeaways that I've taken away today on pig rearing and pig farming. Thank you very much for having us here at your establishment. Ndinofunga nevateereri vedu vanga vari kumba vane zvakawanda zvavadzidza pamusoro penhau yekukurisa nguruve nekuchengeta nguruve. There you have it, farmers. That was Daniel Rungani for us with his tidbits and expert information as a farmer on pig rearing and pig farming. Ngiyalibonga balaleli bethu ngokuba lathi namhla lapha kusihlelo sethu lesi ese pig farming, lokukhulisa izingulube, lokugcina ingulube lapha ku Agric Connect. Namhla besilo Daniel Rungani okade sitshela ngokuthi lapha eBalivon Farm bakukwanisa njani endabeni lezi ezokugcina ingulube, lokuthi bona bayenza njani ama practices abo ukuthi bakhulise ingulube ezinhle ezizakwamukelwa ku market yethu. Thank you very much, farmers, for joining us today. Join us in the next segment as we are joined again by an expert who is going to go into depth on pig farming and pig rearing and share with us more information and expert tips on how best we can grow our pigs and raise our pigs profitably and still make good value for our money. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Annette Mtetwa, and see you on the next segment. know that pork production actually contributes to 35% of the world consumption of meat worldwide. Today we are here talking about piggery production, and we just want to share with you a few insights. On Agric Connect, we are here to share with you and bring to you insights of different aspects of the agricultural industry and sector. Today we're joined by an expert who's going to delve deep into the insights of piggery production and share with us how, as farmers and as people who are wanting to go into piggery production, can improve the rates and actually help to meet the demand that we have currently within the nation of pork production. Hello Tafara, how are you?
I'm happy, Annette. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you very much for joining us here on Agric Connect, and we look forward to hearing from you the insights and your expertise on piggery production. So Tafara, I'm keen to know, I think the farmers are also keen to know what it is that farmers or people who are venturing into piggery production for the first time can do to actually improve or do better in terms of piggery production. We understand that is a sector of the industry that has very few players within the industry, but we have a lot of people who are willing to get into this industry. How best do you think they can get into this industry and actually have a good output from piggery production?
The first thing that I can speak about is when you want to start piggery production, make sure to consult. Don't start piggery without consulting, because you make a lot of mistakes. So when you consult, you know the right breed to take. You also know in terms of the breed, choosing a breed. For instance, you can go for a large white. So large white is in a mothering abilities zakanaka. So you can have a good litter size, savana vakawanda. And also you can also see in terms of growth, the large white as a breed, kura compared to some breeds. For instance, you can leave Mukota. Mukota is more like our indigenous breed. So I kuri so fast. So if you go for that, you make a mistake. So you need something that will grow fast and chikupa a litter size. And also I can speak in terms of feed. You need to know the right feed. So if you make poor decision in terms of feed formulation, it will cost you. So in terms of consulting, you know the related cost. And so I think in that way, but don't start piggery without consulting. You make a lot of mistake and you will hate piggery. So I'm sure.
Absolutely, I can agree with that, seeing as we have people who go into the sector and then pull out very quickly after facing certain losses. I also understand that we have a number of fatalities that come in from the time when the piglets are actually born. We have cases where piglets die in large numbers. How best do you recommend that farmers curb this or decrease these fatalities that happen as piglets are born and actually increase their output in terms of the number of piglets that then reach full maturity?
Okay, so in piggery, I can speak maybe for the whole livestock species that you can keep. You need to take note of feed is very important. Animal healthy is very important, and also availability of water. So in terms of my piglets, make sure to provide colostrum. Colostrum dom kakawa mai weptanga within 24 hours to 48 hours. Make sure to provide colostrum, and also make sure to provide iron, vitamin supplement. You need all those things, and also provide enough bedding to provide temperature. You also need the good technician. And because the soil iri pa maternity inogona kuita complications yekuti inonge assistiwa. So you need a right technician. You need to provide in terms of feed. You need the right feed. You also, after the nguru yako yabereka zuma piglets wapo, you also need to support the lactating mother. You also have to increase feed. So in terms of feed, pane feed inofana pure, it is specifically for the lactating mother kuti ibude mkaka. In terms of CP content, unofana kuitoza the percentage you feed. Before breeding, you vaccinate. Then during breeding, you vaccinate against parvovirus, Faroshua, and also litter guard. So litter guard is zvainoita ndekuti inoprotecta malitters vana vachazobuda. So basically for vana vachazobuda pane the vaccine, the litter guard inoprotect against ma stillborn, ma embryonic death, ma infertility yevana, even death. So vaccines are also important kunana mai to protect vana, because zvirwere zvese zvekunguruve zvinobatwa ne, let me say, uchapa. If you don't provide hygiene zvakakwana, nguruve dzako dzinofa.
What kind of housing in particular is most suitable? I think I've come across how there's certain separations or demarcations in the types of housing that we offer to pigs, and the different sizes that they come in. Why is that done? And why is it that they are separated at certain stages and demarcated to live separately?
Every class bit, ama winners, ma pokers, so in order space yayo.
Yeah.
So space is very important. And maybe let me talk about in terms of the structure of the housing unit. You need ventilation.
Yes.
Mepo kuti ipinde zvakanaka. You need ma rough floors. Pano pekuti ukaenda kuma farms unogona kuwana nguruve dzakudya cement.
Yes.
Cement pasi. So you also need ma smoothly plastered walls mudanga mako, and then you also need good drainage system for waste disposal, paunengochi cleaner as well. So in terms of space, let me go back to Nyaye space. Let me start nema males. I think you need about 7 square meters to 9 square meters one. Then ma pokers nema winners anogona kugara ari ega. Then ma pregnant souls anogona kugara ari ega because akugadzirira to give birth. So I can say in terms of the housing, yes, there are specific requirements. Kuti ma pokers, ma grower here, ma winners here, ane zvaanoda. So maybe in terms also you need a considerable height, and also you need to block like the sunlight. You need to block sunlight. Pani yatinoti east to west orientation. Ninge yaka bloka zuva kupinda kwaro. So yeah, I think I can say that in terms of the housing.
Lastly, I would just like to ask, there's a certain practice that is done on piglets just after they are born at a certain stage where some of their teeth are cut off or removed rather. Why is this practice done, and why is it important to adhere to it for farmers? It might be something that farmers that are venturing into don't actually know about, or farmers that are within the practice already don't know to do. What is the main reason of removing the sharp teeth that are found on piglets just after they're born? Yes.
So you don't want also kuti paano yamwa okwanisa kuruma mai.
Yes.
And also because mai vakarumiwa matits acho pane inonzi mastitis, inflammation of the udder, ine zvirwere zvainounza. Ndopaona kuti mai vakubuda ropa, mabacteria awanda, zvinotransfer infection, mabacteria akawanda awana ino opening yekupinda navo. So that's why muchiona that practice inoitwa. And also idzo pachadzo kurumana kwachadzo, you don't want that. And also when you operate pane dzimwe dzogona kutongokuruma chacho. So I think people, they would try also to do that to avoid my cases akadaro.
What would you say to a farmer who is out there and has the idea that he would like to start seeding, of getting into piggery? Like I mentioned before, we've got the issue of a very large demand in terms of the percentage of uptake of pork in the meat consumption industry. And we've got few key players that are willing to, actually commit to piggery production. What would your advice be to farmers out there so that they can actually consider taking up piggery production and meet the large demand that we have in the country for the amount of pork on the market?
I think ndokunokutanga kuti if you have the experience, you can start.
Yes.
If you don't have the experience, you need to consult. And also there is money to be made in piggery.
Yes.
We can talk of value addition in terms of piggery. Yes. So I encourage farmers to go for piggery, but don't make a mistake of starting without consulting. Don't make that. You need to consult.
Okay.
Yes.
There you have it, farmers, viewers. That was Teacher Farah Mugari for us with his expertise and insights on piggery production. A very difficult sector to get into within the agricultural industry, but very profitable from what Teacher Farah is saying. If you are a key player who is willing to get into the industry and willing to actually try out piggery farming, those were some key insights that we had there. It is something that is very profitable and can give you value for your money. So as a farmer or as somebody who is willing to get into the industry, please do consider it. We've got a very large demand which is failing to be met by the key players at the moment. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Piggery Production.